am Dr. Kay Fontana, life force coach and grief recovery specialist, and I am deeply familiar with the pain of loss, having experienced many throughout my life. At just 9 years old, I lost my brother to cancer and witnessed my parents' immense grief, which was unbearable. Years later, my mother lost her battle with Alzheimer's, and then my father was diagnosed with cancer and passed away a week after his diagnosis. Most recently, in January 2023, I experienced the devastating loss of my husband and soulmate of 40 years due to multiple health issues. In between were countless other losses, including family members, friends, co-workers, beloved pets, and even finances. However, I turned my pain into my purpose and passion to share strategies to help you get through your darkest days and navigate the complexities of grief. This is the Healing Our Grieving Hearts podcast. In today's episode, we're exploring finding strength in solitude, embracing alone time. After a profound loss, alone time can feel heavy, even unbearable at times, but it can also become sacred. It can become a doorway into healing and into deep communion with spirit, with our beloved, and with our own heart. I want to begin by sharing a moment from my own journey. After my husband passed, our daughter stayed with me for a while, and I was so grateful for her presence. But during the day when she was at work, the house felt heavy, quiet in a way that echoed. I spent most of my time in my office, pouring my energy into creating a video for his celebration of life and taking care of all the details that follow a loss. It was my way of staying busy, of doing something with the pain. The celebration was held a month after his passing, and once the last candle was blown out and the guests were gone, I began to feel a new stirring. During meditation and prayer, I started to hear a whisper, not from outside, but from deep within, inviting me to begin the journey back to myself. But it didn't happen all at once. In those early days, sitting in stillness was hard. My thoughts constantly circled back to him, to memories both beautiful and heartbreaking. And yet, over time, I realized that the stillness wasn't empty. It was alive. It was sacred. And in that moment, in that quiet space, I began to find pieces of myself again. Solitude, which once felt like a void, had become a vessel. There are so many sacred gifts that can be found in solitude, though they often arrive quietly, like soft whispers waiting to be heard beneath the noise of grief. One of the first gifts is emotional clarity. When we allow ourselves to be present with what is, without distractions, without pushing away the pain, our true feelings can rise to the surface. These emotions don't come to overwhelm us, they come to be witnessed. In solitude, the mask we wear for the world can gently fall away, and we meet ourselves as we are, tender, aching, and real. Tears that may have been held back finally find a place to fall. Feelings we thought we had buried speak up with compassion and grace. This kind of honesty is healing, not because it fixes anything, but because it honors the truth of the heart. Another gift is spiritual listening. In stillness, we begin to hear the voice of spirit more clearly, not always in words, but in nudges, sensations, or a deep inner knowing. You may feel guided to rest when you've been trying to push through, or you may feel called to take a small next step in your healing. Sometimes you may sense your beloved's presence in these quiet moments. In a memory, a feather, a breath of wind, solitude becomes a sacred space where communion with the divine and with those we love beyond the veil can happen. Solitude also brings self-renewal. So much of our identity is tied to who we were in partnership. wife, caregiver, companion. And when that role ends, it can feel like we've lost a part of ourselves. But in solitude, we remember that we are not just who we were in relation to someone else. We are radiant, whole beings in our own right. We begin to rediscover our essence, our passions, our soul's voice. This remembering doesn't happen all at once. It unfolds gently, like petals opening to the sun. As Lawrence Stern wrote, in solitude, the mind gains strength and learns to lean upon itself. And I would also add, so does the soul. Of course, solitude is not always easy. We may fear the emptiness. We may fear being forgotten or believe that being alone means something is wrong with us. Our culture often glorifies busyness and connection while neglecting the holiness of quiet time alone. But solitude, when we approach with love and intention, is not a punishment. It's an invitation. So let me offer a gentle reframe. Solitude is not loneliness. Solitude is presence. It is a quiet homecoming to your own soul. If you're just beginning to sit with yourself in this new season, here are a few simple practices to gently ease into the space. Create a morning ritual. Light a candle. Place your hand on your heart. Write one sentence in a journal. Take a walk in nature. Let the trees, the sky, the earth hold your thoughts as you move in silence. Use sound healing. Let the vibration of a crystal bowl, a chime, or even the rhythm of your breath become an anchor. These small, sacred acts remind you you are your own sanctuary. And within you lives the strength, wisdom, and love you've been seeking. Let's take a moment now to pause, to turn inward and gently listen. Close your eyes. Place your hand over your heart and breathe. Allow your breath to slow, soften, and settle you into this moment. Now ask yourself, when was the last time I truly felt safe in my own presence? What part of me is asking to be heard in this quiet? Now, there's no need to rush for answers. Just let the questions open a space within. Let your inner voice, the one that's often drowned out by noise or grief, begin to whisper back. It may speak in words or in a feeling, a sensation, or even just a knowing. Let this moment be enough. And if it feels right, say this aloud with tenderness. In this stillness, I remember I am never truly alone. In this episode of the Healing Our Grieving Hearts podcast, we explore the quiet, often overlooked healing power of solitude. After the loss of a beloved partner, alone time can feel daunting, filled with silence, pain, and uncertainty. But within that stillness lies a sacred opportunity for emotional clarity, spiritual connection, and self-renewal. I shared a heartfelt personal story from my own journey and invite you to reframe solitude not as loneliness, but as a profound return to one's inner sanctuary. I offer gentle reflections, affirmations, and practices to help you feel safe in your own presence and to begin hearing the subtle voice of your soul again. If you're in a season of grief and longing to feel whole again, this episode is a loving reminder. You are never truly alone. Spirit walks beside you, even in the silence. The mission of Healing Our Grieving Hearts is to help women who have lost their spouse or soulmate navigate through loss and find purpose through grief recovery, energy healing, and spiritual support. To receive helpful tips on coping with grief and finding happiness for widows, go to purpose.healingourgrievinghearts.com, where you can download both for free. To follow me on Facebook, go to facebook.com/k.fontana. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Healing Our Grieving Hearts podcast. Remember, you are not alone in your grief, and your experiences and emotions are valid. Join me next Saturday at 10 a.m. Arizona time as we continue to explore the human experience and grief and the elements: earth, water, fire, and air in healing. Until then, be kind to yourself.